Hi there, signs of Aries. This is Kim with your reading. It's a anything kind of goes reading, so just allowing any kind of message that wants to come in. And I'm using the Secret Shaman's Oracle for you, and we'll see what else. I'll cleanse the space with sage, so it's neutral. I did do a pre-shuffle. The pre-shuffle was, I mean, it was talking about losing confidence in somebody, but at the end of the day, it being like you've done what you could with a person or situation. That might be just a separate message for somebody else if it's just, you know, if it doesn't seem to resonate with you. But 1010 came out in the pre-shuffle. So there's something about having patience with divine timing. And that's, of course, that's hard to do. All right, so messages for Aries. I do have private readings if you're interested. They're affordable. Contact me, description box below if you're interested in one. Look at all the water that you've got so far, just so far. 50 and 10. Spirit of the river, movement towards adventure. Deep diver, diving into a task. It feels like, well, the energy in the pre-shuffle where you just keep trying with somebody and it just keeps getting like either worse or just doesn't get better. Things can get kind of dark when you're deep diving into whatever it is with this metaphor, because it's diving deep, right? So, spirit of the river, movement towards adventure. So whatever it is that you're getting into, I don't know, maybe you're studying something new or something has piqued your interest. That's something maybe new to you. That was a lot. Well, they were shuffled, so I'm going to take them as cards for you. Let's see here. All right, so deep diver, diving into a task. This card always reminds me of the Two of Swords, but it is 20. Two of Swords comes out in it, though, as far as it is about choices and what you want to pick. Feast of Plenty, choices and their consequences. Another thing with water, 14, drifter, experiencing life as it comes. And we have straddling worlds. Oh, and repairing the veil. It always looks like a spinal cord. Not a spinal cord, but like this vertebrae. The column, the vertebrae column. It always reminds me of that. Maybe you're having some back issues. Maybe something is like mending when it comes to back. Or maybe there's really something very significant with the vertebrae. Or something like that. 45, of course, that's going to be just message for who it resonates with. But this is, it says repair the veil. It's about forgiveness. And then the next one is that 52, straddling worlds, wandering between realms. Always reminds me of an angelic figure. Like an angelic figure of some sort. So experiencing life as it comes. Maybe it's saying like without being so worried about the consequences. If you don't get out and choose, or if you don't try to live, you know, have you ever, if you're too afraid to go and try something, then is that living? Like, there's some kind of quote about that that's coming to my mind. So making the choice, and it feels like you're going to make the choice to do something pretty big. Could be diving. You could really be diving. You could have a sailboat. As this is an interesting picture because it's a bunch of waterfalls, and this little sailboat going through all of them, obviously heading towards the light, but probably they look very similar, each waterfall. So I don't know if this is like with a plan. I feel like it's just saying, no, we're gonna drift. That looks like a face. That looks like a face. Or maybe you know somebody that is a sailor or that has a sailboat that wants to say something. Say hi or something like that. I don't usually see that face up there. Let's get some from the Kipper deck then. What's this forgiveness about? What's the forgiveness about? Sudden wealth. Oh, I know what it's about. Okay. See, so here lately, I've been really looking at the energy of things. Of course, that's kind of been an ongoing study or interest of mine, is like the, you know, vibration and law of assumption or attraction or vibrate. I mean, they all kind of work together. And a little bit of Hermetics is coming out here, because if you have forgiveness, you're getting into a vibration that is, well, it's a high vibration. It's one that is centered around love. And it's one where, if you think about it, forgiveness, what does it do to all the mind states involved? It eases almost all minds that are involved. So it's a way of really not only changing the vibration for you, but changing it in, you know, for everyone that's surrounding your situation or that's in the situation. So it has a really big impact on creating and co-creating, because as you know, we all co-create with each other. So that will get you in the framework, the right frame of mind for this to come in, because this is lucky. This is sudden wealth. This is like all of a sudden that was a good idea. So there's something about this being a super good idea that actually brings in more financial assistance. Remember, it's a vibration is a vibration, whether you label it or whatever label. It's just a label. It's just a word. What you're feeling is what's going to come in for you. What you feel is really the way you can tell what's going on. So anyway, so that's that. Repairing the veil, forgiveness, and sudden wealth wanting to come out. Kind of interesting, because I was doing I was looking at something that was very similar to that right before this, with manifesting and how you know your manifestations are coming in, and synchronicities and things like that. I think these readings, these tarot readings, usually provide a lot of synchronicity for people, so that they can see, yeah, that some things are manifesting for you. This being the way that it came out makes me feel like it has a lot to do with what you're straddling worlds on. I mean, because first you get the sudden wealth, and then you have wealthy man. So straddling worlds, wandering between realms, and then wealthy man. And I think it's the transition. Of course, one really good way to transition pretty fast is by taking a self-inquiry of what do you define wealthy. Even though it is just a word to you, to your person, it means something. And when you can broaden your idea of wealth, then you can increase your opportunities to receive it. And then if you know what life's like, a snowball, you know, just one good thing happens, another good thing happens, another good thing happens. It just seems like that's how it happens. So let's see about Drifter. Experiencing life as it comes. I feel like this is like so literal for someone as like, where should we go? Oh, I don't know. Let's just see where the wind takes us. You know, with the sailboat, if you don't have a motor, for example, can't talk today, and I love to sail. So if you have a sailboat, then you know that the wind is really what tells you where you're going to go. The wind tells you if you're going to go off course. And I look at wind as like it's your divine plan. So sometimes the wind is going to make you do a circle in the ocean or wherever in your boat, but you still were on a journey. You still had to go that way for some reason, whatever the reason is. There's all these other little hidden things that we don't necessarily know about that are happening. So yeah, when the wind kind of throws you where it wants to, you are kind of at its mercy. You can either put your sail up and try to go against it. Sometimes you can go really, really fast if you try to go against the wind, but actually catching it and being in the flow state of the wind is probably better. Just letting it decide what direction. Too much resistance can make something flip or get very scary close to capsizing. Anyway, that was kind of extreme example, but 9, change. So I have change. I have this sweet little car. Looks like one of those cars that they have at Dollywood, you know, with the oh well, I don't know what else to say after that point. They're just old. They're when the tanks would blow up and stuff. So that's not really a good thing. But the car is really nice, and maybe it's like it's kind of coming across as one of those model cars too. You know, those kit cars that you can build, or that maybe somebody you know is doing something themselves. Anyways, the message is that a change is coming in. 9s usually denote some kind of ending of some sort. But obviously this is a change, so it's an ending with a new beginning, kind of like attached right to it. How it usually happens. Feast of Plenty. Okay, so what they're saying here with this card, especially with all your cards, is that there is something that that has many options for you. And some of these things, maybe like the sailboat, look the same. Like some of these waterfalls look the same. Yes, choices have their consequences, but don't be so scared about a consequence that you can't try new things. So better safe than sorry. It sometimes can be led down a paranoid, anxious route, right? So sometimes it can lead you to just not wanting to try anything. So sometimes there's a chance, and I think this is just saying, look, if you pick something and you don't like it, don't worry about it, because there's a lot. There are choices, there are the consequences, but you can come back. That's basically what it's saying. So Kipper deck, give me something for that. Something for choices and their consequences. 8, false person. Well, we'll have to get some tarot on that, won't we? Choices and their consequences. Yeah, because, oh my goodness, this could be a few things, right? But I have adjudication on the bottom. This person is in the process of making a judgment. There is somebody that it's obviously pointing out who is not who they say they are. And that does have a consequence and it possibly like putting too much into a false person or somebody who's not who they say they are might get you off course. It's part of the experience, though, is what I gotta say. So I'm gonna definitely pull some tarot on that. And then deep diver, diving into a task. I think it's this one. I don't know what that one wants. Okay, 25, high honor. High honor. So somebody is really looked up to. And I feel like whoever this is that it's talking about, it might be you. But you are looked up to with high honor for going to those places that are sometimes really dark, but they still have to be explored. You know, those places where the jellyfish glow and everything's messenger RNA has the ability to change it. So, I don't know, going places where things are interesting, but scary sometimes For others, this is awarding you high honor. High honor. 7, message on the bottom. 7, a message on the bottom. Okay, so tarot. I'm going to pull out the tarot now. I didn't realize how long I've kind of been sorry I've been talking so much about you straddling worlds, because I think that a lot of this is about that, but I want to get some more messages on the person who is not as they seem. I'll just get a tarot card for each one of these slots here. Alright, so tell me about this person. Tell me about this false person, please, and the consequence of it. Oh, shit. The Tower. With this person, be very careful. Big change coming with somebody who is not as they seemed or who they seem. Being attached to a Tower moment. Coming across as a few things. It can come across as like the major change and transformation that someone can go through, you know, after choices, after maybe living, you know, part of a life where it wasn't really themselves. This might be somebody that you lost confidence in, and there may be some kind of, I don't know, there may be some kind of big consequence or change or transformation with them. Wow. Tell me about the change then, because I feel like it has something to do also with this change. Tell me about the change. Whoa. It's big. It will shock you. It will surprise you. It's big. Waiting. Look at those colors. I know we said pull this for here, but I feel like it goes there actually. The Hanged One, because of this straddling worlds, wandering between realms with the wealthy man and the Hanged One. And the change, it's probably both of these. It's probably that this is something that you have either been waiting on, or that you're in some kind of period now during this period, like not knowing what to expect out of life. It is giving you a different perspective, especially when the wind, you know, the wind is telling you where to go. So when it's nature, when it's divine plan, yeah, there is something about seeing things with a different perspective. It's a shame to see this. Like, I don't know, but it's a shame. It feels like something that does, like, it's a shame. Tell me about straddling worlds, wandering between realms. And that's the change. Change, change. Look. So there's those synchronicities that I was like, if you're waiting for some kind of thing to manifest or something to change, there's another sign or synchronicity that not only will you have choices, because that card also is associated with choices, but you're gonna have change. There is a going back and forth. There is a feeling of like having to balance the checkbook, having to be really careful with money, as we all are at this time though. You could have Capricorn energy, Virgo, maybe Scorpio. Doesn't have to be those signs, but so this is indicating that something might be going back and forth, but ultimately there is going to be a decision, so that not just one person is doing all of the juggling. Tell me about deep diver, diving into a task, and high honor. Oh, wow. The Sun. Jeez. It feels like a spiritual task. It feels like there's a spiritual task that you are undertaking. Maybe a big transformation that you've gone through yourself. And why? Because you're this highly respected person in the spirit realm. Like, your soul, your spirit may have taken on some even questionable things in this lifetime, meaning that you may get judged as a human, but as a spirit, like, wow, you have high honor and you're doing something that that is not easy. And so therefore you have the sun on your side. You have growth, you have energy, vitality, Leo type energy. Wow. It's the highest honor. It gives energy to everything. It helps other people see. The light helps other people see some of the experiences that are very, very hard that you have gone through, so that possibly another person that doesn't have to go through. You going through something that is highly honorable, whether they say it human-wise or not, in the spirit realm. What you've gone through, especially your spiritual challenges, are big. They're huge. They're big moments for growth, for your spirit and for everyone. And that's why, it's because we're all connected. All right, what about forgiveness? I shouldn't have left forgiveness for last, but maybe it's part of the message. Is that maybe forgiveness was saved for last. But look, there's something just brand new, Ace of Cups, that wants to come in. Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's new. There's your Two of Swords. I told you it looked just like that. Your decision. Because you're the magician. And you're coming out of a Five of Discs in the reverse. You're coming out of a hard time. You're about to manifest something really big, guys. I just want to say that. I have the Knight of Wands, Sagittarius energy. So what, it's coming out like this because there is a stop-go moment where you're feeling the pause and you're wondering, is it working? Keep in these frequencies, and yes, it's working. This indicates movement, and if it's, you know, halfway, then it's like some things might not be moving at this moment, but you can bet when they do speed up, they're really going to start speeding up. Yeah. Judgment on the bottom of this deck, and I shuffled these before your reading. So let's pull a fortune cookie out for you all, guys. What a beautiful reading. I love this reading. It's beautiful. Positive work outcomes, consistent efforts will bring in rewards, and a major purchase is worth making. A major purchase is worth making. I also have, oh, yay, a surprise. Because after dealing with something like this, something that was pretty dark, a disappointment will be followed by a pleasant surprise, and an invitation could bring love to those searching. You do have the two in your reading. And then last but not least, I love number 3, manifestations. A bountiful time awaits you. Your wishes could manifest right before your eyes. It's going to feel like that because you have all these messages of something's going to be stopped and then boom, straddling worlds. And so it's going to be like bang in your face. Yay. I like that. Sending you love and light, Aries. If you want a private reading, you can reach out to me. My email address is in the description box, like I said before, and they are affordable. Sending you love and light. Bye-bye.